Hey, Anthony Pietrobono here, coming at you with a fitness video. This time I want to talk about how you can actually make your own fat loss easier by discussing the biggest 5 strategies I personally use to go ahead and lose body fat. Now, on this channel, I talk about fitness, talk about finance, and I show you my experiences at music festivals. Coming up in literally 2 days, I'm about to go to a music festival. You're going to see the full vlog of that. It's in Toronto, it's Veld, and I got another one in Montreal coming up the week after that. Then I don't really have many planned, but let's dive right into this video so you can see what we're talking about here. Basically, there's 5 main strategies and tools that I personally use to go ahead and make my own fat loss easier. The first one is I use a Fitbit Versa right here, this thing on my wrist. It tracks the daily steps that I take every single day and how many calories that I should be burning for my body weight and my activity level on a daily basis. And what I've kind of found is if I keep up with 15,000 steps each day, I will be burning at least 3,000 calories. Now, this means that I can consume a little bit less than 3,000 calories in that day that I moved that much and lose body fat. That's basically what that is saying. Now, it's not completely accurate, but it's a great guideline. So I use that. That's the first big strategy is I see how much I'm moving each day and I kind of adjust my nutrition accordingly based on how aggressive my activity level has been because it says how many calories I'm burning. That's the first strategy. Second strategy is to go ahead and actually weigh yourself every single day. That's what I do. Weigh myself every single day, put it in a Google Sheet, and I take weekly progress photos. I will, at the end of each week, I will look at the weekly progress photos and I'll see how my weight has been trending on a weekly basis and compare those average weekly weigh-ins. Using those 2 data points, I'll see if I need to make any adjustments to my nutrition and training. Those are the 2 biggest strategies that I use. The third one is that I actually use a food scale and MyFitnessPal. So I use MyFitnessPal to track my nutrition, and I'll use the food scale to weigh the foods so I know exactly how many calories I'm consuming by the end of each day and make sure I hit my macronutrient targets that I set for myself. Those 3 things, if you do those 3 things, that's massive. Moving on to number 4, what we have is we have given yourself more time than you think you need to go ahead and actually lose the body fat, because we want to make this a lifestyle. We don't want to make this a short-term diet. We want to make sure that when we lose the body fat, we actually keep it off for life. So how do we do that? We give ourselves even more time than we think we're going to need to go ahead and lose the body fat. Clear example is, let's say I want to lose just 10 pounds, right? I could say, oh, I can lose 2 pounds a week, or even 1.5 pounds a week. So I can lose that 10 pounds in 6 weeks, or maybe even 8 weeks. And that would be a reasonable goal, to lose 10 pounds in 6 weeks or 8 weeks. But what I do is I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna give myself even more time, just in case. You never know what comes up, because what happens is if something comes up and you binge and you fall off track, now you're a little bit behind on your goal. What are you gonna do? You're gonna make drastic adjustments to try to catch up so you can still reach your goal by the deadline. We don't want that to happen, because that's how you end up yo-yo dieting, having periods of starvation and having periods of binging. And that's how you screw up your metabolism long-term, and that's how you just gain body fat. We want the more consistent approach that we can keep up with, so it's far easier to stick to and doesn't feel like a diet, just feels like a lifestyle change that kind of happened. So I give myself 12 weeks. If I'm gonna lose like 10 pounds, I'll give myself 12 weeks and I'll lose 1 pound a week. I'll have some weeks where I lose nothing, and I'll have some weeks where I lose 2 pounds. But I'll get there by the end, and it's gonna feel far easier because it's less stressful. I'm not in such a caloric deficit. I don't feel the urgency, and it's kind of just happening. It feels more seamless. Next strategy I personally use is to go ahead and actually try to eat the most calories you possibly can while seeing the fat loss and seeing the weight loss trend down on a weekly basis. Basically what I mean is, let's say I know that I'm gonna be burning 3,000 calories a day. I'm probably gonna eat like 2,700 calories every single day and still see some fat loss. I'm not gonna just eat 2,300 calories if I know I'm burning the 3,000 so I lose body fat quicker. Number 1, my gym performance will drop if I make such a drastic change like that. Number 2, I'm gonna feel more tired throughout the day. Number 3, my metabolism is gonna downregulate quicker. And number 4, there's a higher risk I'm gonna end up binging, right? Because there's such a drastic change from the maintenance to the deficit. We wanna make a small deficit. Small changes over longer periods of time is really how we make lasting changes with our fat loss and with our body composition. And those are the 5 main strategies that I personally use to go ahead and make my own fat loss easier. And I'm down to 175 pounds. It's kind of like the leanest I've been in a long time. I might try to push it to 170 pounds. That would be near stage lean, competition lean. But for now, 175, I'm feeling great. This is the best I've felt being the leanest I've ever been, because that's the best approach I've ever taken so far. Using these 5 main strategies, if you live by these 5 main strategies, you're gonna be far better off. You're going to feel better, your health is gonna be better, you're gonna enjoy life more, and you're gonna be leaner. So try these 5 strategies out again. I'll repeat them real quick right now. The first strategy is to go ahead and use a fitness tracker so you can go ahead and see how many calories you're burning each day and how much you're moving each day. Second thing is to go ahead and use a food scale and MyFitnessPal to track how much calories you're consuming each day and hit those macronutrient targets so you know exactly how much you put in your mouth. Third thing is to weigh yourself daily and take the average weekly weigh-ins along with weekly progress pictures, using those two as a gauge on how you should change your exercise or your nutrition. Fourth strategy is to go ahead and give yourself more time than you think you're gonna need to go ahead and lose the body fat so you don't end up binging or possibly losing muscle. And the fifth strategy is to go ahead and try to eat the most amount of calories you can while still seeing the fat loss. Because again, if we're creating such a large deficit, there's a higher chance we're gonna binge. It's become more of a short-term diet, and we wanna make it more of a long-term lifestyle. So try to eat as much as you can while you're losing the body fat. Make small adjustments, don't make any drastic adjustments. If you have any questions, shoot them down below. Subscribe for more vlogs, more informative fitness content and finance content. I'll see you in the next video.